Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Steelers add Memphis men, still need QB. With the first official day of free agency in the books, the Steelers have made their usual number of small but judicious signings, lost enough to have unofficially gained third, fourth, fifth, and sixth round compensatory draft picks, and still have enough cap room left over to buy a quarterback and then extend the contract of their best player, T.J. Watt, later in the summer. The one fly in the ointment is that there are barely any quarterbacks available. The best target appears to be Aaron Rodgers, who was officially released yesterday by the Jets but who will turn 42 during the upcoming season. The Steelers, according to the Post-Gazette's Jerry Dulac, have made an offer to Rodgers, who is said to be mulling it over. In the meantime, the Steelers received official confirmation yesterday that cornerback Darius Slay has been released by the Eagles and has agreed to a one-year, $10 million contract with the Steelers. Slay is 34 years old but played well throughout the Eagles' championship run. He'll no doubt start opposite Joey Porter Jr. and will help mentor him, Corey Trice, Beanie Bishop, and another newcomer, Brandon Echols, who signed with the Steelers yesterday. Echols was a highly regarded reserve for the Jets after being drafted in the 6th round in 2021 out of Kentucky. Born in Memphis, Echols, 27, played for 2 years in junior college before spending 2 years at Kentucky, where he finished with 7 interceptions his senior season. At his pro day, Echols measured 5'10" 1/8", 179 and put on an athletic show with a 40 time of 4.36, 3-cone time of 6.84, a 42.5 vertical jump, 11-4 broad jump, and 13 bench reps. Echols started the first 9 games of his rookie season with the Jets before a thigh injury landed him on injured reserve. He started only 5 more games the next 3 seasons but was a valuable reserve at both outside spots and in the slot. He was also a punt gunner who played 707 snaps on special teams over his 4 seasons. He has 5 career interceptions. On Tuesday, the Steelers added another small, quick, special teams-oriented Memphis man and former Eagles running back Kenneth Gainwell. The one-year contract can earn Gainwell $1.79 million. A 3-year starter at quarterback for Yazoo County, Mississippi, high school, Gainwell chose Memphis over Ole Miss and was moved to running back. After 4 starts in 2018, he took a redshirt, and the following season rushed for 1,459 yards, 6.3 average, and caught 51 passes. He sat out the COVID year and was drafted in the 5th round of the 2021 draft by the Eagles, where he joined his cousin Fletcher Cox and his favorite NFL player Darren Sproles. The 5'8" 3/8", 201-pound Gainwell made 4 starts for the Eagles. In his 4 seasons, he gained 1,185 rushing yards, 4.2, caught 102 passes, 10.9, and scored 13 touchdowns. He also returned 27 kickoffs for a career average of 22.7, 18 last season for 25.3. He's also played 292 snaps on special teams, including 114 last season. In 9 playoff games, Gainwell has 59 carries for 232 yards, including a 112-yard performance against the Giants in the 2022 playoffs. ESPN analyst reveals surprising reason Aaron Rodgers may reject Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers have been hot in pursuit of future Hall of Fame quarterback Aaron Rodgers. At this point in time, they're viewed as a potential front-runner to end up winning his free agency sweepstakes. However, there are 2 other teams involved as well. Both the New York Giants and Minnesota Vikings appear to be in the running. Rodgers is taking his time to make a decision. In the meantime, all the teams vying for his services can do is wait. A lot of speculation is starting to rise. Where will Rodgers end up landing? One ESPN analyst has spoken out with a surprising reason why Rodgers may end up passing on the Steelers' offer. Ryan Clark spoke out about the matter during a segment on Wednesday's edition of First Take and explained why Rodgers could opt to sign somewhere other than Pittsburgh. He believes that the Vikings could end up stealing the future Hall of Fame quarterback away from the Steelers. There's more trust in Kevin O'Connell and what Aaron Rodgers will accomplish there than what Mike Tomlin has accomplished with the quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger, Clark said. Speaking of O'Connell, he is fresh off of an impressive season with Sam Darnold as his quarterback. That isn't to take anything away from Darnold, but it was surprising. Darnold ended up throwing for 4,319 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions in 2024. Being able to play in that prolific offense and throw to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison is a great sales pitch for Minnesota. ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter reported that the interested teams may have to wait for a while, as Rodgers has no timeline for a decision. Insider thinks Steelers could trade for Kirk Cousins, Falcons buy a draft pick from Pittsburgh. Free agency has officially opened in the NFL, and the Pittsburgh Steelers still don't have a quarterback. They could still sign Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, but both of them seem to have other options. If Rodgers and Wilson sign elsewhere, the Steelers could be the odd team out. The remaining free agent quarterbacks aren't inspiring. However, insider James Palmer believes the Steelers could trade for Atlanta Falcons quarterback Kirk Cousins. If Aaron Rodgers goes to the Giants and the Steelers are left without a quarterback, they may want Kirk Cousins, Palmer said Wednesday on Bleacher Report's YouTube channel. If the Falcons are hanging on to him right now, and there's a date in mind here, which is March 17, Monday. He's due $10 million as part of his 2026 contract. So essentially, they're on the hook after Monday for $100 million for 2 years. If they do something by releasing him before Monday, they're on the hook for $90 million for 2 years. What's the difference in $10 million to them if they can continue to wait out Aaron Rodgers and wait out this process, and then possibly buy a pick back from, say, the Steelers? Palmer brings up an interesting scenario. The New York Giants are reportedly interested in Rodgers and Wilson. Wilson also has a visit scheduled with the Cleveland Browns, while Rodgers is reportedly interested in the Minnesota Vikings. The Steelers have competition for the best free agent quarterbacks left on the market. Cousins, a 4-time Pro Bowler, is an interesting figure at this point in his career. For most of his career, Cousins has been a solid starter. During the middle of the 2023 season, he tore his Achilles. Following that, he signed with the Falcons on a massive, 4-year contract worth a total of $180 million. Unfortunately, he didn't look the same coming off of that brutal injury, taking a serious step back. Cousins will also turn 37 years old before the 2025 season starts, so there's concern he'll continue to decline. However, perhaps another year removed from that injury will do him some good. 2024 was not kind to him. In 14 games, he threw 16 interceptions and only 18 touchdowns. However, he still might be the Steelers' best option under center after Wilson and Rodgers. The biggest holdup in acquiring him would likely be his contract. It's a bad deal that no team wants to take on. However, Palmer believes the Falcons might be willing to retain much of Cousins' salary. Do the Falcons buy a pick and say, "We'll eat this amount of money. You bring Kirk Cousins in for $15 million, which is nothing. We'll pay the rest. We'll buy a draft pick from you." The Falcons eating most of the money on Cousins' contract would make him more appealing to the Steelers. Giving up more draft capital likely wouldn't be ideal after they traded their second-round pick for DK Metcalf. However, beggars can't be choosers. If the Steelers miss out on Rodgers and Wilson, they'll probably be close to begging. Cousins isn't perfect, but he's likely the best of the rest. He could give the Steelers a solid veteran option for this year. They likely wouldn't have to give up significant draft capital to acquire him, either. They're in a rough situation. Cousins might help them stay competitive in 2025 if the Falcons choose to trade him. And you, fan? What do you think about Kirk Cousins' situation? Write to us in the comments.